Okay, we got the old one and the new one. You can see everything is identical the way it should be. This was the piece that we undid from the inside of the car with the socket. You can see it just slides over that mounting bracket, and this is what actually squeezes it to the roof on the inside of the car. So we have to undo that on the new one before we can install it. Okay, so now I'm undoing the bolt and the fastener that attaches it to the roof. Now we're going to drop this in through the top. Okay, putting the new paint matched antenna back on. Basically just feed the fasteners or the connectors and the wires down through there and snap it on facing the right direction. It's really the hardest part. It just clicks right into place. Just that simple. That's the easy part. Okay, so now the hard part, putting these back on kind of blind without pulling the headliner all the way down. So basically what you have to do is reach up here again. Basically you're gonna have to reach up here blind and fit the bolt and the fastener right here. Right there. So the wire's kind of in the way. Not sure if we can see that. Let's pull these wires out. So, okay. So the wire's out of the way. Basically, that's where we gotta go. So again, I chose not to pull the headliner all the way out, but the trade-off is you gotta work blind. So I can't keep my head here and see what I'm doing, so, and then be able to actually reach my hands up here. So I'm going to try to do it blind, see what happens. Okay, something's really important to notice here. This fastener that actually squeezes the antenna, you can see me wiggle it right there, it actually goes over the four corners of that plastic lock that keeps the antenna in place. So make sure it's not spun or twisted when you screw that bolt in. If it's oriented that way or if it's not quite lined up with the corners, you're going to break something. So just make sure it fits right in those grooves. You can see there's grooves, it lines right in. So as long as that's tight and it's able to fit over the four corners, you'll be good. Don't let it get, like I said, don't let it get offline, because you're going to try to bolt it on there and you're going to end up breaking something or cutting one of the wires. Okay, the cool part about this is you can actually get this on pretty good with just your fingers before you have to put the socket on it. And again, now I can kind of make sure that's all lined up where it's supposed to be before I put the socket on it. Let's see if I can reach the socket. Okay, now it's pretty snug. Again, we're dealing with plastic and you're dealing with your roof, which is just thin sheet metal, so don't be an ape and just wrench this thing down. Just get it nice and good and snug until it doesn't really want to turn anymore. That should be good enough. Okay, now to fasten the blue connector. This little tab right here, if you can see it, that actually goes on the back side, so you have to flip that over and then just plug it in. Once you hear it click, you're good. Same thing with the green one. The little tab goes on the back, so rotate it to the back. Insert it in the hole, and you should be good to go. And that's it. As far as the antenna goes, that's all there is to it. Okay, now we're putting everything back together. I've already put the headliner back up underneath. Make sure it's fitting right under all the seals, or make sure it's sealed right underneath all the different plastic covers. Now we're going to push this one back into place. Again, just get it lined up and just give it a good push, and you'll feel it kind of slide back in there. It's just all that simple. Okay, now pretty much the easiest part of the whole job is reinserting the rear fasteners, and you just push them in until they don't go in anymore. Just that easy. Give it a good, nice, firm push to make sure it's up there, good and tight. Now we're going to do the coat hangers. Okay, here we go with the coat hooks. Basically just slide in like I showed you before. There's that little plastic tab that you pop in, make sure it's flush, take the bolt, thread it in by hand. It actually goes in there pretty deep. Just try to get it started. Then get the nut driver on it and just get it on nice and snug. Again, this is not a mechanical piece, it's just holding on a coat hook, so no need to torque it down beyond belief, just get it nice and snug. There we go, that'll work. And then, like I said, if I really was too concerned about these covers, I would super glue them on. Just put probably a dab of super glue right there. So let's try that again, get out of the shadow. Put a little dab of super glue right there just to keep it on, then I know I can get it off if I need to again. But I think it'll hold just the way it is. Now we'll do the other side. Alright, there she is, all finished and installed. Definitely worth it. I would definitely, this is one of those jobs that requires some patience. It gets frustrating if you're not going to take that headliner all the way out. But you can see it looks good. Definitely like it better than the stock one. So thanks very much to Becky and everybody over at Roger Chevrolet. Again, not too bad of an install. Just the hardest part is messing with those connectors. But pretty straightforward. Give yourself some time. Don't get frustrated and you'll get it. Good deal.